Alright, so back to another tournament every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Here we have in winners final, best of 5, Kevin versus Radish. Now, Radish has been out of these past few tournaments, but I'm sure nobody forgot what he's been doing up until this point. Winning back-to-back-to-back tournaments. Versus Kevin, who's been pretty consistent. We always see him in stream due to how well he places, but he can never really bring it home. So we'll see if today changes that for him. But right now, the odds are in the favor of Radish on his legendary Petra.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
So here we are on Small Mammoth. Logic would tell you that this might benefit Kevin because he does have more defense. The 6 he has have decent force, so it should help him killing Petra even faster than she already does. But we've seen Radish completely dominate on this map, and he seems comfortable no matter where he goes. He's as close as it comes to what I would say is possibly, a local legend. He hasn't even taken any damage yet, and he already has Kevin in the red. This is not shaping up to be well. And there he goes with his infamous D-Sig on Orb, taking the stock without taking any damage whatsoever. It's already looking like another early tournament for Kevin here. But we know these sets are long, so anything could happen. Kevin can completely turn this around, but if I was a gambling man, I'd have to go with Radish. Damage is even, but Kevin is up. Radish is up an entire stock here, and it's looking like he's actually taking the damage lead right here. Disarm though. Whew. This is why we don't panic jump. If you panic jump, he possibly would have taken a lot of damage there from that neutral sig, but he stayed grounded and hit him with the N-Light to get a very good punish off. And there he goes again with the D-Sig on Orb. It's like you know it's coming, but you don't know how to stop it. Once again, he loses his stock the same way, twice in one match. And now he's up 3-1. He's not even really in kill percent yet, as he's only in light orange. We'll see if he's able to finish this. Kevin fighting his way back with a Seer, then the side sig. Switches off to the hammer. Has him in kill percent. He's gonna need to kill quickly though, but uses the dodge too quickly and gets punished for it badly. Now he's in kill percent himself. Radish has yet to lose his stock here. Ooh, beautiful GC and light. And there it is. Kevin takes his first stock, but it might be a little too late as Radish still has 2 stocks in the white. He's even going for style points now as we see the GC side sig coming out from damn near the top of the screen. And there it is, with the recovery off of the gauntlet stacked. Reliable option when you can't find anything else to kill. So game 1 goes to Radish. Kevin looking like he's thinking about what he's picking next. We have seen him in previous tournaments bust out a pool of characters, all fitting a theme of having at least one heavy weapon, and there we see the legendary Brim. Level 40. He has experience on this. So we'll see where they'll be going. He crosses out Small Mammoth, the map he just lost. Probably, it's a good idea going against Radish. He seems to dominate that map quite frequently. Now Radish has to choose between Small Enigma, Mammoth Fortress, and Miami Dome. And it looks like he opts for Small Mammoth.
Three, two, one, brawl!
Alright. You see Radish rocking that new sidekick that came off of the Battle Pass. It's one of the better looking ones in my opinion. Oh, and Radish says the map change does nothing. I'm still going to get this damage off. This time Kevin does get a little bit more damage though, earlier than he did the last time, but Radish still, you know, is dominating the damage department right here. Now, some people might be questioning how good Radish is and how good his competition is if he's able to continuously kill using that D-Sig or get damage using that D-Sig on orb. But the thing you have to remember though is that when you look at Brawlhalla as a game, Brawlhalla has moves or situations where you can't punish it, meaning you can't attack the person or hit the person after they miss an attack. And Radish knows this. That's why he continuously goes for that attack, knowing that at worst he'll only get hit once. So that's why he's able to continuously go for that. And Kevin has brought this game all the way back, taking the first stock before Radish gets the chance to do that. He'll need some extra damage here if he's gonna make it worth it. Radish going for his legendary side sig. Doesn't need it though, as he perfectly waits for the spot dodge to hit the end sig. The game's even, but Radish is the only one armed. We'll see if that has an effect on Kevin here. Radish queuing up the first end sig, didn't work, so he went for the second one and that hit. Kevin trying to find an opening here. Beautiful 3-piece. Ooh, 4-piece actually, as he finishes it with a recovery. Radish now 2 stocks to 1 here in light yellow. You know, Radish has kind of been known as a little bit more passive, but this tournament he's showing that he can play any way he chooses to. As he's just dominating his opponents. Gets the side sig off here. I thought he might opt for the orb so that he could edge guard, but doesn't even need it. Because he's doing quite a good job with gauntlets, which is no slouch to getting quick gimps and a very good weapon for controlling. Weapon throw to maintain pressure. Ooh, not a very bright recovery coming out from Kevin. Gets punished for it a little bit. Radish juking him, making it seem as though he's gonna recover around the stage and then comes right back up. Really adept at using his movement. Lands the recovery. The small platform that floats around didn't come quick enough to save him from that weapon throw. And there he goes with the neutral sig. Petra, a beast with the sigs. This sig is extremely fast. Seemed to be unpunishable. Now Kevin on his Teros level 60. But that's nothing in comparison to Radish's level 96 Petra. I don't think we've ever seen him in this entire tournament play a different legend. Now that's just, it's either just confidence or lack of experience on other legends, but the fact that he's able to win time after time after time with the same legend speaks volumes to how good he is. Because logic would tell you that somebody has to adapt to him by now, but he just continues to win. Conspiracy theory, maybe he took those weeks off just to make sure that people forget about his playstyle, so he could come back right where he left off.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Going back to Small Mammoth though, this time different legend for Kevin here. Radish looking really confident out there. Instead of opting for the weapon, tried to go for a little bit more unarmed. Looking to find some traction here. Kevin gets a little bit with the side light near. True combo that I believe does about 30 damage. But on Teros it's probably a little more. Kevin trying to use a little movement option with the soft platform. Still gets hit though. Radish with the Nair into GC D-Light into recovery, which is a true combo. And then he hits the GC D-Light recovery, which, like I mentioned before, is a true combo and gets the kill. This has got to be frustrating for players whenever they see Radish in the bracket. I wouldn't be surprised if Radish DMs them personally and asks who's coming in second. just toying with his food, forcing him to stay off stage and accumulate that wall slip, which would make it way harder for him future to stay on the wall. Ooh, barely missing that side sig, and Radish punishes him heavily for it. Goes with the ground pound, but gets punished for it with a Sair. But he has taken a lot of damage. Same stocks, but one is in red and one is in white, so you see who the advantage has there. Gets the Sair. And then the dare through the soft platform, and there it is. 2 stocks to 1, both white. Radish up an entire stock. Looks bad for Kevin here as he's already lost 2 games. He's on not tournament stock, but he's on winner's bracket stock right here. As if he loses one more stock, then he has to go to losers, which can be an extremely grueling process as you have to fight for so much longer than you would have if you just made it to grands and winner's side. And there he goes, charging up the GCN6 as far as it could go, so that it would outlast the dodge and takes the game. The best of 5 goes to Radish pretty convincingly.
Custom.
Alright, so here we have Shadow Jesus versus Weedy in a best of 3 losers semifinal here. Both of these players on their tournament set. If they lose here, it's over for them this week. So they're gonna have to bring it if they want to have a chance at earning some more money here and placing better. Alright, so we're getting straight into it here as both players have selected the legend and opted to go small mammoth. Shadow Jesus on the Ragnar and Weedy on the Jae Yun. Both incredibly talented players here.
3, 2,
On
1,
small
brawl.
Brawlhalla though. I'm gonna go here. It's actually my favorite map in the game. Just because of how quick the games can go. And that's due to the incredibly small kill zones it has. So your defense means something, but not as much here, as losing your stock early is quite common. On the Black Jae Yun, obviously showing that he had some time on it, and bought the Magyar skin that gives him that those great swords. So you could tell he's been labbing that great sword, trying to get good with it. He's been tournament legal for quite a while now, so he's had the opportunity to practice it in tournament against other very good players. But he gets disarmed quickly off of it, and being edge guarded right now by the Ragnar. Ragnar jumps to let him know that he could come back to stage and then seals the deal with the Seer. Ooh, chasing with the Seer and gets punished by the Ragnar. Does it again. If Weedy's gonna make a comeback, he's gotta stop fishing for that Seer. I know from personal hand experience how painful it is, because it could really be a bad habit that you have to break as a Brawlhalla player if you want to make it far. Could be tournament nerves getting to him. I noticed that he was a diamond, so he probably knows this himself here. Both players on 2 stocks, but the Jae Yun obviously in way worse condition here. Seer coming out from the Ragnar to seal the deal. 2 stocks to 1 here. Shadow Jesus here. Looking to find some hits as well as the Jae Yun. Jae Yun is down the stock, so he's gonna have to look for it a little bit more. Shadow Jesus up in the entire stock. If this game doesn't go the way Media is planned, he might have to switch off of that legend. We'll see what he does after this game though. And there it is, the Seer once again to finish off the final stop of the first game. One more, like he's on tournament game right now. Because we're in a best of 3, he only has one more chance to really show that he's meant to be here. And he opts to continue with the Jae Yun, obviously showing confidence in that greatsword usage, even though it didn't really seem to pose much of a threat to Shadow Jesus for his game. Leaves Small Mammoth open, so obviously Shadow Jesus is going to go straight back to it, as it's the map he just won on. Opting for the damage stat for both of these players here.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Alright, first weapon goes to Shadow Jesus on Katars, which tends to do exceptionally well against unarmed, but he quickly gets rid of it to maintain the weapon starve and gets his axe, which can get beaten out surprisingly by unarmed if not careful. So. Sidelight there into ground pound. a really reliable option for a soft read if you don't know how your opponent is gonna dodge. You can learn a lot from the way they react to the ground pound there. And he takes the first stock in convincing fashion as he barely took any damage. Now he's on his guitars. Genuine looking for a little bit more damage here. And there he gets it. The Ragnar now in kill percent. He's gonna have to finish this off quickly. And there he goes. Opposites stay on the greatsword. It queues up another one for the next time he dies. Should he die, or should he need to just swap because that one is damaged? Here getting quite a bit of damage off of the dares, which works incredibly well against greatsword users as they don't really have an option to deal with it fast enough. At least not in my experience. And there he has it, takes his stock, leaving it 2 stocks to 1. Greedy picks up the greatsword once again, like he did up previously. Shadow Jesus here, getting quite a bit of damage. Ooh, and finishes it with a read coming out from the GC N6. Shadow Jesus, a man of respect though, says well played. Weedy has already left the game though. It's gotta be tough. Losing both games like that.
Custom.
Alright, so here we have Kevin versus Shadow Jesus. Kevin just lost to Radish, and Shadow Jesus just beat Weedy here. Best of 5 losers final. Once again, tournament set right here. Both of these players have got to play excellent if they want to get out of losers final and match back up with Radish. So, but I know if I were either of them, I wouldn't necessarily be too amped up to fight Radish, as he is a 3-time champion. And so Kevin started off with the legend he did against Radish with the Thor versus Shadow Jesus' Ragnar. Kevin opting for the speed stance on Thor, taken out of dexterity, which some believe to be the worst stat in the game, as if it doesn't make certain combos true or untrue, then it's just not worth it having it. So Shadow Jesus here starting off with the damage lead. We see a lot of sidelights come out from him, which shows his experience. A lot of underexperienced axe users will go for a lot more dares when the sidelight yields much more damage because it does have a true follow-up afterwards, and then you can get way more follow-ups after that. Okay, Kevin again a little damage here, but kills himself in the process, and Shadow Jesus is only in orange. Sidelight there again. Beautiful dare into the sidelight coming out for Shadow Jesus. Kevin taking that stock right there, but not without taking quite a bit of damage himself, now as he is in orange. Unlike into the dare coming out from Kevin, trying to even up his damage here. Doing a pretty good job at it so far, but Shadow Jesus interrupts it with some attacks of his own. Sidelight into Unlight True combo that yields way more follow-ups than Sidelight D-Light does. So he goes for it again, gets the read, and finishes the stock just like that. Like I mentioned before, has way more options to follow up afterwards than Sidelight D-Light, which is also a true combo. Shadow Jesus here with some crisp movement. Seems to be working against Kevin here. Goes for the 3-piece, only gets the 2. Grounded in the air, which is a move a lot of people believe shouldn't hit grounded, but you know, it does. So Kevin finally gets to take the stock, not without being pretty damaged himself right now. Like I talked about before with Kevin, like he's pretty consistent getting here, but he seems to struggle whenever it comes to like closing deals here. He's an interesting player because you know he's good, you know he'll probably beat you, but when you see him against other good players, it's like, you know, gotta step it up a little bit.
Player 2 wins.
Just like that, Shadow Jesus takes game 1 right under Kevin. Here, he needs 2 more games to advance on, and Kevin has to get it together here. He chooses to stick on the Thor though, which we've seen him switch off last time. This time he chooses to stay, leaving open small Brawlhalla again.
Three, two, one, brawl!
here we are in game 2. And Kevin on this story again. Both players looking to find some hits here. Both players in orange here, playing a little bit slower. Alright, so this game, Kevin seems to be way more controlled, as he did have the damage lead for a second here. Still does, but very slightly. Both players in kill percent here on Small Brawl. But Shadow Jesus takes the stock first. That's a pain that most Brawlhalla players can relate to when you have the damage lead but lose the stock first. So now you do stupid stuff to try to get back the evenness and end up taking more damage for it. Like fair true combo and kills, as the Ragnar was pretty damaged previously. Here. Shadow Jesus here being patient with it as Kevin finally approaches and then gets some damage off of that. Both players pretty even this game. This game is a little bit a tad bit slower, but you know, both players obviously taking their time, being more meticulous here into this losers bracket. And there we go. Last stock for Shadow Jesus versus Kevin, who's pretty damaged on this second. Still got the read there. Waited a little bit too long and didn't get it. Almost killed by a... Doesn't matter though, as he is killed by the side stick coming up from the guitars. Yeah, so here we got the final stocks of both players here. If Kevin looking poised to win this game if he could just tighten up here. And there he does. And raises his hammer in victory. Kevin, the set is now 1-1. Both players opting to get back into the game quickly. They know what they want. Leaving Small Brawlhaven open again, and they do go back to it again. Shadow Jesus must be confident that it was just a fluke, and that, seeing as how he won the first game, you know, he'll probably win this third game as well. But we'll see.
1, brawl.
Shadow Jesus gets first weapon and is in a similar situation than he was in game 1, where he was weapon starving. Okay, so Kevin heavily damaged here. each other up looking for opening. Games can get pretty drawn out like this as both players are trying to be extremely careful, but the recovery is so wide. Hits Kevin in is enough to kill him as we are on small Brawlhalla and he was pretty damaged prior. Shadow Jesus here with the damage advantage as he just starts popping off with his cards a little bit. Continues to do so. Kevin has really left this damage unanswered, and he's gonna have to answer the phone soon if he, wants to pick up the phone for the check. Still has yet to touch him on this second stock here. Shadow Jesus still patient though. Probably could have guarded that, but chose not to. Finally takes some damage, but it's negligible. And there he goes again with the jump fast fall seer. Now he's up in the entire stock here. He's looking poised to fight Radish in the grand finals here. Gets a little 3-piece on the card. Kevin's gonna have to do something here to answer this. What I'm noticing from Shadow Jesus is he's pretty adept at using his movement, catching players off guard here, and just like moving around them, making them feel a little claustrophobic. Ultimately taking games and stock all the same. Kevin and kill percentage here. Shadow Jesus 2 stocks in game 3. He needs one more game here. Kevin is now on the tournament game. He's gonna have to tighten up if he wants this. Finally opting to switch off for the Thor onto the Bryn here. Shadow Jesus is thinking about what he wants to do here. Switches onto the Asuri off of Win. Probably thinking about weapon matchup here. Maybe he just feels like playing some Asuri, who knows? And here we are on Small Enigma, a great weapon for X. So I could see why Kevin would opt to leave that one open.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Both players do solid so far. That's the damage it's using. Some no X for Shadow Jesus. Just a weapon that they carry over the works with guitars. Players coming out from despair. Eli recovery coming out here. There, coming out from Kevin. As he takes the first stock, really fighting to stay alive in this tournament. Sidelight near to ground pound coming out from big damage. Kevin here, he looks like he wants to go back to fight Raiders. Shadow Jesus not about to sit down and let it happen though. Alright. No, you too. It's something that Shadow Jesus probably wishes he could hear from his parents right now. Probably wanted to get off the game. But if he's making money, shoot, they probably cool. Probably cool. Here we got Kevin and kill percentage here. Both players in kill percentage actually. Kevin here with the advantage and gets it with the pinpoint dare accuracy and takes the stock. Kevin has been keeping the lead pretty, under control this entire game. But he's incredibly damaged now, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to extend this lead here. Not by much, as Shadow Jesus is only in light yellow. A little darker yellow now that he got a little two-piece off on the unarmed. Ooh, looks like Shadow Jesus trying to bring this game back. He doesn't want to have to go to a game 5. He'd much rather end it here and now. I can respect that. He's just occupying the floor right now, as it is the more advantageous spot for Brawlhalla players. And light coming up. Light near into the recovery, he misses though. Kevin here and kill percent. He's on tournament stock right now. Beautiful dodge coming out from Shadow Jesus. Goes to the ground pound. Doesn't get punished. Sidelight there. Not enough to kill. I can tell both players are feeling stressed right now. Shadow Jesus wins his, he moves on. Kevin wins this, the game, the set is extended. Both players feeling the pressure right now as they're just inching towards each other, inching back, and doing it all over again. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Anything could happen right now. Goes for the risky signature right there. They're almost connected. If it would have been it. And there it is. Oh, he's still alive. Dodges the weapon throw. That is Surrey defense coming in clutch here. Sidelight to knock him off stage. And the recovery ends the game. Shadow Jesus not able to move on just yet. Kevin keeping this set alive here. Whew. I could tell pressure was getting to both of these players. Game kind of slowed down for a second, as it tends to do when you're both one stock red. Really good round out there. Alright, Kevin switching off to the Rayman. I guess he felt as though the win wasn't convincing enough for him to stick on that legend, so he's going for the Rayman, which keeps the X of Bryn, but not the Spear, as it's switched out for the Gauntlets. Now, Rayman is a legend I feel as though slept on, as the stats are really good for this legend, like well balanced. There's not a single bad stat on Rayman, and outside of dexterity, which many believe to be the worst stat, like I've mentioned before, and puts it into speed, which is right up there for like second best or third best stat, depending on what you favor. So Kevin on first here. Beautiful dodge coming out into the inlight punish right there. Now we are on a new map I have not seen in a while in this tournament, if at all. People don't usually opt for this map. It's usually a mix between Haven Island, Small Bar Haven, and Small Mammoth, with the occasion of Small Nickel. Kevin looking much better on this game. Max coming out from the Finn crossover, which is one I own myself as a Jala man. Doing pretty well. Weapon spawned over on his side. Ooh, the gauntlets, the thrown gauntlets eliminated the momentum here. Beautiful dodges coming out like all throughout this set for both players, dodging weapon kills. Now that and like kills, but if he had hit those gauntlets, once again he would have been saved. So, or maybe not, because the gauntlets were in the air for quite a while. So, you know, the longer weapons are in the air, the more damage or force they do, as they do get a little bit more momentum. So the Jesus here looking to finish the stock. Goes for a risky ground pound. Ends up getting slightly punished for it. Sidelights here. Ooh. Barely misses that signature. Recovery coming up. Quite a bit of damage. Looking like switching off of the Bryn was the right choice. He goes for a really stupid side stick and gets punished for it. Loses the stock. He kept going on the pace he was at. He probably could have taken the stock before losing his, but still with a hefty lead right here, and just shuts me up with the Seer, finishes that stock, and is now up 2 stocks to 1, both fresh. Coming up. Both players just inching around each other. Kevin on his Rex is impeccable right now. Gets the side stick this time. Gets quite a bit of damage off of it as well. There into Seer. Pretty reliable. Just barely misses that side side sig off of the GC. Just beautiful spacing coming up here. That sig is such a menace to face, because if they miss, they just do that and they take the game. So Kevin completely flipped the switch and just dominates. Shadow Jesus trying to get up out of there quick, says GG, well played, and heads out. Not mad at it. He did have the lead basically the entire set and then just loses it. It's gotta be tough.
Custom. 3, 2.
Alright, so here we have
1,
Grand Finals best of
brawl.
5 from Radish and Kevin. Both players going to Demon Island here with Radish on his legendary Petra, like I mentioned before, and Kevin on the Rayman that won him the set last game. So, Kevin, little background, he was put into losers in the first place by Radish. So, you know, we'll see if he can get his revenge here. But, you know, Radish has a pretty positive history against Kevin in total here. This game is way more closer though than the last time. That goes for risky off-stage encounter and then gets punished by with the ground pound coming off from the gauntlet. Takes the all there, but the game's not over yet. Kevin makes it back to the stage safely, but Radish kills him with the recovery. Radish here in dire position on the second stop. You know, Kevin looking, you know, like he could actually do this. Gets the recovery. Perfectly spaced and timed Sair as he knocks him off stage and taking his stage control. The recovery takes that stock. 2 stocks to 1 right now. Radish not yet in kill percent, but pretty close to it. Just like that, Radish takes the stock, and now he has the weapon advantage, and the stocks are pretty much even. That's gotta hurt Kevin's mental. And he would have to do this about 6 times, or 5 times or so. No, he'd have to win this. He'd have to win 6 times in order to take this title. Radish only has to win 3. Oh, beautiful D6 coming out and finishes the game right there. Kevin takes the win. Both players again straight back into it extremely quickly. I didn't even get time to see the victory screen or whatever. This time to go into Apocalypse, which is a map I don't usually see often in a tournament setting, but it's a map that I like nonetheless, as it is small, not allowing players to run as much, and the platform isn't that annoying.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Kevin playing with a lot more confidence here, it feels like. Despite being down in damage-wise, it seems like he's playing with a lot more confidence. But, you know, I don't think we've ever seen, like, Radish falter, which could explain the damage deficit. British takes game 1. I mean, stock 1, excuse me. Looking to get some more damage here. Kevin looking to extend the lead. Coming out, still looking to find this kill. He's not down too bad damage wise. Gets the kill. Yeah, like I said before, not too bad damage wise. This map is another map with a pretty good kill zones in terms of like the size. But it is a small platform, so this is where you get those like struggle situations where you're trying to get back to stage and you don't die from knockout, but more so just failing to have any options left. However, that previous ground pound, he did die to knockout. But look at how quickly he brought back the damage and brings back the stock. Barely takes any damage and takes the stock before Radish gets the chance. Is this the first time we see that Radish gets this far and then loses? It might be. Kevin, like I said before, playing with that confidence, that swag, that chip on his shoulder, that revenge. After being sent to losers in the first place, having to fight those dueling matches by Radish. This time, he actually gets to punish the D-stick by being in the right position to... Ooh, goes for the risky neutral sig and gets punished by a neutral sig of Radish's. The fans want to see it. They want to see parity, so Kevin taking home this would be huge. There he goes. Radish is red right now. And Kevin takes that game with the recovery. Both players getting straight back into it immediately again. I don't even know how they're doing it this fast, but hey, after such a long tournament, it's refreshing to see some players with some pep in their step. Radish here opting to go for Demon Island. Okay, he's probably lagging as he is killing himself. Probably lagging.
Player 2 wins.
It was wrong map. I don't think I've ever seen somebody do all of that just because it was the wrong map, but there's money on the line, so I get it. But after the corrections were made, we're on Apocalypse here. I don't think Kevin minds. He just won the game on this map, so. Are you kidding me? What is it this time? Did you pick the wrong color for your character?
Player 2 wins. Custom. 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 Three, two, one, brawl!
Alright, so we had a little bit of difficulty here, but we're back.
Player 2 wins. Custom. Custom.
Alright, so here we are.
3, 2,
Finally
1,
figured that out.
brawl.
Right now it's 2-0 in favor of Kevin here. He chooses to stay on his Rayman. After all of that is done, we're back here. So. Ooh, Radish with the read coming out, goes all the way up. GC, neutral sig, and kills right there on a map that has pretty large ceiling. Though does have him in red right now and does have the stage control. Goes for this anti again. Pretty slow though. Not really sure if that was the correct option. But he makes it work nonetheless, as he does get the steer quite quickly afterwards, evening up the stocks and not really being in much of a damage deficit here. This doesn't seem to be getting much damage off, and actually seems to be taking a lot more damage here. If he could extend this stop and get some more damage off, then he'd be in a much better position. But I spoke too soon, as he did just lose that stock while Radish is in like the light yellow. There he goes, trying to bring back this game. It's this here, sending him to the other side of the map. I'm expecting a decent. Actually goes to the side trick. Interesting mix up. They hit him. Greatest trust to end the game right there. But ends up getting himself killed instead. I don't think he minds too much though, as he does have Kevin last stock red.
Player 2 wins.
And Radish takes game 3. It's now 2-1 in favor of Kevin.
Three, 2, 1.
Alright, so here we are on Apocalypse once more. Radish looking to be dominating this game as well. Just really like bringing out all the stops here in order to secure the bag. Yeah, I do think that Kevin might have lost his momentum since there was quite a bit of time between games. It's really unfortunate because he was on a hot streak, like against Raiders. Like he was just going off, so it's a little unfortunate. Respect to Raiders still, just SDing in order to get us back into the game. Unlike coming out, Raiders takes that stock. Now he still has 2 stocks orange, while Kevin only has 1 here.
Player 2 wins.
Okay, so score's now 2-2. Raiders needs 1 more game to secure his money and his place as a 4-time champion. He's trying to be like Jordan. Get up to 6 here.
Three, two, one, brawl!
British taking that stock with relative ease. It's looking like he might be going for that 4th-time championship. Really unfortunate. Who knows what would have happened if my dude. I mean, I feel as though Kevin might still be having some connectivity issues, but doesn't really want to stall out the game any longer, because like usually if you're disconnected like that, it usually doesn't just go away just like that. So he might be facing some connectivity issues still. And this tournament money could have went to helping him get some Wi-Fi. So I mean, you could start a GoFundMe page for my boy, let him get some better Wi-Fi, or maybe he'll do it himself, invest in himself, putting some money into his Wi-Fi, helping him play better, and make the money back. But game's not unwinnable for him though, as he is in the lead right here damage-wise. We've seen this situation with Raiders many times before. But he does take the stock, gets the stock lead here. One stock right now. It's quite even in terms of damage right now. Both stocks are clean here. We're gonna see who's gonna get the win. Those players just jumping around right now, looking for an opening. Radish gets his. He's just looking for some cheap moves right now. Doesn't really care how he gets it. Risky side singing was punished for heftily. Okay, Radish, you're 4-time champion. Right then and
Player
there.
one wins.
Definitely one of the more interesting sets though. Respect though coming out from Radish and Kevin as well, saying GG's, well played. That's what I love is that, man. Every week though, 8 p.m. Eastern. You want to get better or even win some money? Slide through. Smash that GG.